like nowadays we started having this virtual, or you can say AI based controls, wherein the customer is required to enter details in a particular set format, and if he is entering the details in a particular set format, the AI tool itself will judge that, okay, now this complaint, it does not seems to be taken up, and these are the you can say answers, or you can say response which you can provide to the customer. And that is something wherein you can write like the AI tool can write it back to the customer that, okay, your contract terms, or your initial contract terms itself restricted us to this particular level, and beyond that you have to reach out to your courier service or your carriers. Okay, so this type of standardization can be done to avoid the efforts which is being put. So simply by having an tool implemented, and by that you can do that. So now again, in that also you need a standardization wherein the proper data has to come in a set format, set standards. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's move to the next one. Now, as we have discussed, what are the benefits of handling complaints? Now, there are certain dangers or certain risk to handle complaints as well. Handling a complaint badly can lead to, like, when if you are not effectively, if I say the right term is effectively, if you are not solving the complaint, like suppose in the case when I was talking about that distributing the refunds, or replacing that particular product itself without investigating, or like it was customer's expectation, you have fulfilled it, you made the customer fully satisfied, but ultimately what has happened in that case, your revenue has hit, your profit has hit. So that is something like wherein you have to see the customer complaints are effectively closed. Okay, so that is where it is very important that you have to from the organization point of view, you have to effectively you can say close those complaints. The other point is like your customer leaving due to dissatisfaction. Like if you are not solving the complaints effectively, like there is a particular customer who was always complaining about the particular product, and you have given a solution to it, you have provided a technical solution to it, and that technical solution is limiting the expectation what he's having. So ultimately, by that level of dissatisfaction which has raised in his, he may leave the organization, so may leave that particular product to purchase in future. Competitors using the failure against you. Sometimes what happen as an organization, there are another manufacturer in the business line who is seeing that your particular product, because of services or because of product quality, is not being you can say up to the mark in the market. So there the competitor will come up and they will focus on that area. They will use your data, they will use your, and they'll focus on that particular part, they'll build that part in a good manner, and they'll take up that particular task. Demotivation of personnel involved in the process. So as I mentioned earlier, if the complainant is dissatisfied, they will get demotivated. If it is an internal one, internal complaints, again from the internal team point of view, demotivation will ultimately lead to low productivity in the system, and ultimately to the loss of revenue or profit. Loss of opportunity to learn or improve. So this is very important, wherein through the customer complaints, resolving, finding out the root cause, you will be able to understand the right you can say opportunity or improvement opportunity, and based on that you can improve the product quality in upcoming. Now let's talk about what is first contact resolution. So in your case, the example which you were highlighting, so that is nothing but the first contact resolution, wherein your customer service team is the one who is contacting the customer at the very first time. So if a complaint can be handled and resolved at a point of first contact for the customer, so benefits like customer confidence in the organization. Like sometimes not only the time or efforts for you, but also if a person or your customer has raised a complaint, and your customer service team will understand the matter at the very same time, they have a similar nature of you can say resolution available with them. They can quickly give that resolution, and ultimately your customer will feel, you can say, confident and have a good satisfaction level that his resolution has come up in a very effective timeline. Organization benefit through elimination of additional contacts. So as I mentioned, uh, one of the important thing is to eliminate the efforts. So the if the at the very first contact, in the very first level itself, the customer complaint is resolved, that will restrict your reaching out to escalation levels. Okay, the responsibility for handling the complaint lies with the first contact. So it is always that customer service team is having the responsibility to resolve, not to pass. Like usually sometimes what happen in most of the organization, you will find that if a customer is reaching out to a customer service team member, he will further give it to another person, he will another give it to another person, and by that the time is getting delayed, and the confidence of that particular customer is also. And after, even after resolving the issue after 10 days, he will not feel that much satisfied if the problem was resolved on day one by the same person whom he has reached at first. Okay, so that is why it is very important that you can try to you have to identify, because every complaint again cannot be resolved at level one. So you have to try maximum complaints should resolve, and by for that you can standardize, you can frame out the customer. And by how you can do that, once you have your trend analysis, wherein you know what type of complaints are coming, and for those particular complaints what type of process you have to follow, and ultimately what is the resolution to it. So by that you are linking and everything, and by you can say having a proper investigation, or you can say checks in the initial stage itself, the resolution can be given to the customer, and customer can be satisfied, or that complaint can be closed at the very same moment. The complaint handling time is reduced. Okay, so this is another benefit, since you have not reached out to escalation levels, you have not involved multiple team members or stakeholders to it, and ultimately resolve the complaint. So in your organization also, like your complaint, your most all the complaints are coming to you, or is there any set processes wherein your customer service your customer service person is able to respond back with a effective resolution?
Current state process is the way it's been in the organization thus far is that everything comes through quality regardless of what it is. And that, unfortunately, fortunately, I don't know, in this case, my boss, who is the director of operations, used to be the quality manager back in the day.
Okay.
So she's like, this is the way we've done it for you. So me coming into the organization, new blood, new thoughts, I was brought in because they want change. I'm fighting against a source that knows my job very well and created the procedures that are in process currently. So I'm trying to recreate the culture to have ownership at different levels to effectively work on the right things versus ineffectively. She goes, well, it's not that many, it's only 3 to 4 a month. Well, yeah, but you're talking 3 to 4 a month. And if I can not do 2 of those 4, then look at how much more I can do. And that's where I'm coming from. Trying to get that balance um, to effectively work through the process to get everyone trained up where it's not going to be a problem going forward.
You are absolutely right. Sometimes what happen, since you come from the like your manager, your team, your business lead is from the same background, and he or she is in a particular way that everything should come to us, and sometimes we follow that particular approach. But now the approach which you are talking about is something which is a right approach, wherein if there are certain segregation which has to be done, there are certain accountabilities which has to be given to each and every individuals, or each and every, here in your case not individuals, to the departments, wherein at the very same time, if proper segregation is being done, if whether what who should take accountability of which type of complaints, then the process can be more effectively worked out. So because once it comes to you, and then you see, okay, yeah, this can be resolved by this can be given to this. So ultimately at the first check itself, you have to see how you can produce a process, how you can implement a process, how you can utilize the tools which are available, like utilize any particular tools by which you can segregate these things at the very same initial stage itself, and by that you can convince your management that yeah, this is the right approach in which you can solve your this thing. Okay.
Yep.